In this lesson, we're going to place the electrical wire that goes from this connector through this hook along this panel and then out through this hole. We're going to do this with a 3D spline, and as you might imagine, it's going to be challenging. We will take a couple of shortcuts to help us get where we need to go. This type of thing is frequently used in pictorial assembly directions, and it's also used to figure out how much wire approximately might be used in a particular assembly. So let's get started. I assume you've got the part open from the last exercise. If not, open the part from your Infinite Skills Working Files folder for Chapter 6, and the part is called Sweeping Pipes. To get ready for this feature, let's unsuppress Cut Extrude 3. So right-click and go up to the Unsuppress option. This makes the feature active once again. Now let's activate the 3D sketch. And even though we're working in a 3D sketch, we can still use some 2D sketch techniques and shortcuts. So zoom into the connector on this part and find the planar face on the bottom side of the connector. Right-click on this planar face and select the 3D Sketch on Plane option. This allows us to sketch directly onto this plane, which helps us simplify the 3D sketch somewhat. But then later, we will move around the spline points as needed in 3D space within this device enclosure. Now from a top view, and remember that's Control 5 if you like to use keyboard shortcuts, let's activate the spline. We can create the spline roughly from this far out in the display. I'm going to start the spline from close to the connector and put one spline point about an inch out, and then start to arc back toward the wall of the enclosure. Try not to pick up any automatic relations while you're doing this, but try to click relatively close to the sidewalls of the enclosure. Make sure to get 1 point on either side of the red connector close to the center. In larger areas where you don't need as much control, you can put fewer points, but where you need to control a curve or a turn, you may need to put spline points closer together. And finally, make the spline go outside of the enclosure. When you're done, press the Escape key on the keyboard. Now, this is a 3D spline, although we've drawn it pretty much in 2D space. It's a pretty rough-looking spline, which is okay, especially to start out with. We may wind up removing some control points as we go through. And you can see over here, we're not even close to the hole that we were trying to hit. In this area, notice that the wire goes across the holes, which will need to be moved. Because we sketched the spline on the face of the connector, the entire spline has an on-plane relation. We can get rid of that easily now just by right-clicking inside the existing relations dialog box after clicking the spline and select Delete All. Now, we can go to these spline points near the holes and pull them down out of the way so they don't cover up the holes. Now remember, when you move splines in a 3D sketch, they can do things that you don't expect. So one thing I want to do here is to start to constrain these spline points. To continue to constrain these points, let's right-click in white space and turn off the 3D Sketch on Plane option. Notice that the color for our spline comes back, and we can start now placing dimensions from the sidewall to the actual spline point. Now, since the diameter of the wire is going to be 0.10, I want to offset the center line of the spline by 0.05 from the wall. So let's do that for a couple of these spline points that we've just put down. Make sure to keep these out of the way of the holes in any connectors that are going to be in that area. We want to continue dimensioning some of these spline points. And I'm going to leave these two that we specially placed either side of the connector. I'm going to leave those two unconstrained. We'll come back to those later. And in this area where the spline is kind of straight and doesn't need any constraints, the spline points are positioned further apart. Now in this area, you can see that this center line of the spline is going to interfere with the enclosure. So I'm going to hit escape to get out of the dimension tool and click on the spline. And when that does, you'll see these arrows appear, which may be hard to see against the gray background. Just select on one of the arrows and then go to the along Z constraint. That will make sure that the tangency direction at this point is in a straight line, and it prevents the wire from interfering with the side of the enclosure. Now in this case, we've got a couple too many spline points, so I'm going to click on that spline point and delete it. Delete this one as well. Move this back, trying not to pick up any automatic relations, and then click on the end of the spline and the circle on the outside, and we'll make that concentric. Clear the selection, the endpoint again, and the outside of the enclosure, give that an on surface, and then click on the spline itself, and again find the arrow and give this an along Z relation, so that we make sure that the wire is coming in perpendicular to the face of the enclosure. If you want to, you can also delete this extra spline point since it's not really needed. And from there, you might control some of the handles in order to keep the spline from getting too crazy. Notice that if these handles get very long, in between spline points, you can get a bit of a kink in the spline. So you may want to make these shorter. So now our spline is pretty well behaved. The only place we haven't really constrained it is around this clip. We don't need to fully constrain the spline, but it is nice if it's constrained to some degree. In this area, I want to show the temporary axes again. Select the temporary axis and this spline point and make it coincident. If your spline starts acting strangely, let's delete a couple of these spline points and add another one that's right in the middle. Right-click on the spline, insert spline point, and then make sure the cursor doesn't have the red circle on it and click to make the new spline point. And then make sure to put an along Z relation on the handle on the point that's inside the connector. Check to make sure the rest of the spline points are staying inside the enclosure. For example, this one is not. Let's click on this, make it along X. And this one also should be along X. At some point, your spline should resolve itself and start acting normally. We can also constrain this endpoint to the face of the connector using the Make on Plane option. When everything appears to be correct, exit the sketch. Open a new sketch on the face of the back of the connector. And if SOLIDWORKS is reorienting things on you, you may have to reorient the view. Draw the circle. Apply a diameter dimension of 0.1. Exit the sketch. Initiate the sweep command. Select the circle for the profile and the 3D spline as the path. If you get an error claiming zero thickness geometry, then the one setting you want to turn off is under the Options panel. You'll want to turn off Merge Result. This makes the wire as a separate body, which is probably the best option in any case. Because we've offset the wire at half of the diameter of the wire will only touch the enclosure at a zero thickness edge. So make sure that the merge result option is turned off. If you're getting the error, hit the green check, and we should be in good shape. If you want to color the wire to make sure that it's visible, then just click on the wire, use the appearance drop-down to select the feature, and pick your desired color from the palette.